My question is why we're following this line of dialogue. This bill is about funding for Planned Parenthood, and I don't hear any discussion on that aspect of the bill.
I guess I can make 2 points. Number one, to answer your question, if you look at the beginning, where it's 126B2, the other one's a subtitle. It says that funds.
What page and line are you on?
I'm on page 2.
Line.
I'm on line 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, around in that area. This is to answer the question about, it says that no state funds will be used to advocate abortion. It doesn't say that the person cannot counsel a person to abortion. It says you can't use state funds.
Essentially,
What this bill says.
I'll get to you in a minute, Representative Ubu. Essentially, Representative Broussard, what you're saying is you are free to speak. You just shouldn't expect me to pay for your ability to speak or your platform to speak on. That's essentially what this is saying. Representative Ubu, what was your question again?
Why we were having this dialogue about where to send people if they can't get information in one place. It's irrelevant. This bill is supposedly about funding of Planned Parenthood.
A very good question. It's not strictly about Planned Parenthood. They happen to be the elephant in the room, but it's about any organization in the state that performs, refers, and counsels for abortion.
Claire, would you like to state your name and where you're from?
Madam Chair, I'm Claire Ebel. I'm the Executive Director of the New Hampshire Civil Liberties Union. And this amendment is boilerplate legislation spread nationwide by Americans United for Life. There is a section of this bill on page 2 which would eliminate the possibility of any agency receiving Title X federal funds in New Hampshire. Any agency.
What line are you on?
Beginning on line 25, Madam Chair, mandatory certification of compliance.
Okay.
It suggests that the contractor shall certify in writing forms provided by the department will not directly or indirectly use the funds to perform, induce, refer for abortion, or counsel. Recipients of federal family planning funds administered or distributed through the department shall annually submit a written certification of continued compliance. The rules of Title X, the rules of family planning funds require that all recipients of Title X funding provide referrals for abortion. And so this section of this amendment would eliminate the possibility of any New Hampshire agency from receiving federal Title X funds.
Okay. Representative Gordon.
It's remarkable that the lady and myself agree on part of this. It is standard legislation. It's been passed in 14 states. It's been to court twice and won both times. The place where we would disagree is on the fact that this would shut them down. What this would mean is if they wanted to do that reporting, they would have to report from a separate organization. And as far as reporting, the laxity or the strictness of reporting, I don't think HHS hands out contracts, let's say, to do mental health, and they said, here's $1 million, go do mental health. The contracts are written very carefully. The contracts are audited. They have performance audit, and they follow up. And if somebody's not following their contract, they lose their contract and possibly end up in court. So there's nothing wrong with having some accountability in a state contract.
Do we have anyone here from Health and Human Service?
Hi,
Hey.
how are you?
How are you?
I'm Kate Fry from the Division of Public Health Services. So just to be clear, are we speaking of the amendment at this point?
Yes. Do you have a
Okay.
copy?
I do have a copy of the amendment. And I do have to agree with what was said earlier, that the way this is written currently, this would violate our opportunity to take any Title X funding